2001: A Space Odyssey is often credited for advanced editing and the ability to dominate the screen and overwhelm the viewer with its intensity, depth, and emptiness. Directed by Stanley Kubrick, the film's power resides in the immensity and emptiness of its images of outer space and in the frailty of man dwarfed even by his tools. Stanley Kubrick was an American filmmaker known for 2001 and Dr. Strangelove. Kubrick spent years on 2001: A Space Odyssey and earned 13 Academy Award nominations, even winning one for his special effects work. Kubrick aimed to share something that could only be told through the images and, as such, becomes impossible to explain with dialogue and words, much less the limits of conventional storytelling in cinema. Kubrick worked with film editor Ray Lovejoy to create the unique and complex scene sequences and edits throughout the film. Editing has the ability to go unnoticed, and because the sequential arrangement of shots can so effortlessly represent unfolding action as to seem effortless and inevitable, people often mistakenly think of editing as simply a selection and assembly process, removing the mistakes and stringing together the best takes. Lovejoy edits scenes with thought and intention that make sure they will not go unnoticed by the viewer. Looking at Movies describes editing as the selection and arrangement of shots and sounds. 2001: A Space Odyssey includes scenes of continuity editing and discontinuity editing, including the Kuleshov effect, with all greatly influenced the perception and understanding of this film. One of the most iconic scenes in 2001: A Space Odyssey is with the bone in the missile. Lovejoy edits the scene with match cuts, a type of editing that matches on action, eye lines, or graphics. This form of continuity editing is used to create a seamless transition through the shots to establish coherence and continuity in the story, location, the objects, and the scene. The beginning of the film begins on Earth with the dawn of man. The viewer watches as the apes interact with each other and coexist. One morning, the leader ape finds the ape bones and picks up a bone. Then a cut to the monolith occurs. He hits the bones and fills with rage. The leader ape is then found attacking the other ape with the newfound bone. The understanding of a weapon and tool is formed. The idea of conflict is established in this scene through this attack and indicates the conflict of society that will progress in this film. In the following scene, the leader ape throws the bone in the air, and a match cut occurs to a large missile floating in space. From the bone to the space missile, a weapon to a weapon. Through the editing and continuity, the symbol of the bone and the missile is used to establish the progression of society and technology. There is a simplicity of the match cut that occurs when the bone is thrown in the air and then turns into the missile, establishing the 4 million year time jump, but with no complications or question. The viewer is just there. Continuity editing is able to achieve the logic and smoothness of a sequence, spatial awareness, and time flow in order to tell the story in a coherent manner. Through this one scene, the film establishes the development and conflict of society and the time jump, displaying the progression in this film in a seamless manner. 2001: A Space Odyssey not only utilizes continuity editing, but also discontinuity editing, especially highlighting the Kuleshov effect. Lev Kuleshov was a Russian filmmaker who used the organization of individual shots and the idea of montage to make his film stand out from others at this time. Kuleshov conducted a study by following an audience and showing them different sequences of 4 shots in order to see how they would react and feel to each other, to each order. By ordering the shots, Kuleshov was able to manipulate time and place through editing and to create the key impact montage has in film today. By organizing shots in certain orders, juxtaposing unrelated images, and creating illusions in location and space, the Kuleshov effect leads to a complete film. 2001 displays the Kuleshov effect through Hal. Hal shows a spectrum of emotions through the film, even more than any human in the film does. Hal is the ship's computer and is the most human character of the film. With no face and a flat and monotonous voice, Hal has no ability of emotion and expression, but the Kuleshov effect brings out his emotions and feelings. Not only does 2001 utilize the Kuleshov effect, but so does one of the most notorious murder scenes in film history. Psycho terrifies the audience through the use of editing during the murder scene. The scene was not actually that gruesome, but the editing and order of shots through the Kuleshov effect create a much gorier perspective. The power of discontinuity editing and the juxtaposition of 2 shots creates the disjointed imagery and montage editing for a desired effect in storytelling. Stanley Kubrick and Ray Lovejoy directed and edited a film with such complexity, and intention behind each shot that 2001: A Space Odyssey leaves many viewers confused, speechless, and that was their intention. Co-writer of the film, Arthur C. Clarke, stated, "If you understand 2001 completely, we've failed. We wanted to raise far more questions than we answered." Through the use of continuity and discontinuity advanced editing, the perception, understanding, and depth of this film are completely changed. 2001: A Space Odyssey is a film remembered for its complex editing and confusion, ultimately creating a one-of-a-kind film.